live. And if we live, y'all already know.
Uh-huh.
We going
Let's go.
crazy.
Let's go.
Going crazy. We got the OC in the building.
That's
So,
right.
OC, man, give us what's your initial thoughts of the game, big dog?
Hey, man, the Cowboys did what they needed to do in this game, man. And we had a team. You know, we had a wild dog that didn't want to be tamed. But at the end of the day, we beat the dog, we tamed the dog, and we dominated the dog. That's what ended up happening in this game versus the Carolina Panthers. And a lot of good stuff out of this game, man. A lot of good stuff, man. A couple points, but a lot of good things, man. So I'm excited, man. Let's rock.
So, Amp, what's your initial thoughts of it?
Another game, another fourth quarter deck hat, baby. You know, we started a little slow, a little goofy, trying to find out where's Waldo's. But eventually, you know, we locked in, did what we know what we came to do, and we got out the building clean. No injuries, no goofy.
And then I also just kind of piggyback on what you said. It was a couple of goofy things, but the thing that I like is we finally starting to kind of not play down to our competition as much, right? We covering the spreads. We doing what we supposed to. We not having those Arizona type lapses. So
That's
when I
growth.
look at that, man, that gives me optimism. Coach, what's your thoughts real quick before we kind of kick it off officially?
Hey man, just a good victory, man. Anytime you get a victory in the NFL on the road, it's a good victory. Got some things to clean up, but hey, overall we just went and took care of business. We don't want to play our best. It's not that we need to be our best, but we were good enough this game to win and to move on to the next game. That's all we shouldn't hype it up no more than that. But we did a good job to win and move on. But we had some good performance by some individual players and some players that we thought they should have done better.
Right. So we finna get into it, but man, y'all already know, man, we going crazy over here at Boss Cowboy Sports. Let's go.
Ay, 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 go crazy.
Crazy.
Ay, 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 yeah, go crazy. Got picked twice a day, my type of two-a-days. Woke up with no plans, what I'ma do today. These are not the same, I got new shoes today. My baby missed me, wishing it was two of me. And I'm like, if I'm not doing what's the real deal. I've been up and down Pharaoh. Friend, bro, you did a real kill. Off the liquor and some pill bills. I've been at it since a church.
Work.
Tell her baby, make it twerk.
Tell her to make it work. Go crazy.
Go crazy. Bro, pass me the rock. I've been moving out the box. Top speed going top. 101 going pop. Getting hot. In the paint, never flop. At the rim like who? Get the crown like Braun. Yeah, make it some and I'm spending some. What's the plan? Bet I get it done. It's me, yeah, neighborhood. It's me, yeah, Kimmy son. Wifey icy, yeah, freezer. New friends, I don't need you. Checks coming by the spins. Kids eating off the reruns. If I'm not doing what's the real deal. I've been up and down Pharaoh. Friend, bro, you did a real kill. Off the liquor and some pill bills. I've been at it since a church. Tell her baby, make it twerk.
Come on now.
Go crazy.
Let's go. Man.
7 and
Let's
3.
go.
Yep.
Man.
Philly, we on your ass.
Man. Oh yeah, we coming. We done lifted the curse, man. We done lifted the whole curse.
Yes, sir.
It's on you, OC.
You got
Man,
that
look, so
smart boss.
the Cowboys come out here, and ultimately we had a lot of scrap and fight initially in that first half from the Carolina Panthers, but the Cowboys did what they needed to do. We scored early. They stopped us on a couple drives. Hey, and we got Micah Parsons off to a great start with the 2 sacks in this game. Ultimately, in the third quarter, we established a fantastic, huge run by Tony Pollard. Happy for him. First rushing touchdown since the first week of the season. Offensive line held up and did what they needed to do. CeeDee Lamb was fantastic. Dak Prescott was great. And Ron Bland might be the best corner in the league. So, hey, man, we got out of here with a W. And we took care of our business and did what we needed to do.
Man. Yeah. So, obviously, what are some of the kind of things that, well, I'm going to go ahead and start it off and say one of the things that I think has been slept on, in my opinion, is Mike McCarthy getting in rhythm, right? I think that's an under-discussed point. Like, you could see the rust on him early in the season, right? I'm starting to kind of see him get his play calling legs. I kind of want to kind of go around and talk about that. Obviously, he still kind of can do some things that can be goofy occasionally, But for the most part, I'm also seeing him improve. So, OC, what's your thoughts on that? And then we will go around the circle and have that discussion.
Yeah, man. Here's the biggest thing that I think about Mike McCarthy versus the first few games and versus now. I think that he's trusting Dak Prescott. I think that's his biggest adjustment. Outside of just getting his normal play calling rhythm, I do see him getting into a better rhythm. I do see him feeling comfortable using the tight end on the corner routes, using the tight end up the seams, always making sure that Dak Prescott has that effective check down with Jake Ferguson in particular, and mixing it up with moving CeeDee Lamb in and out of the backfield, things of that nature. And he really tried to incorporate Tolbert more this game, which I really appreciate. But I think the biggest thing, and I'm going to say this again, I've been saying this for weeks, I'm going to continue to say it, man, in Dak we trust. And so his trust level and confidence in Dak Prescott has been the biggest adjustment that he's made thus far.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Yeah, I agree, man. OC is hitting on the point, man. I think, man, I said this before, man. I said this when we're doing the game. When you got a quarterback that's playing this well, man, it kind of makes your play calling real, kind of, you can't miss. But I think what he's incorporating, he's giving defensive coordinators a lot to adjust, because we're allowing everybody to be playmakers, and he's using these guys in the right manner of using them. He's using the Turpins when he's in there. Turpins. He's using the Tolberts. He's using Gallup. He's featuring CeeDee Lamb. He's got Cooks going. Now he's getting his run. He got his running backs going. He's preparing this team for us to be very flexible. And yes, he might have had a little trick play, but he tried it out. But McCarthy is coming along very good, and I think he's experienced enough to know as we get along that having these things is going to be very important going down the stretch of having a solid base in a lot of things.
And Amp, real quick, you and the OC, man, obviously the talking point that's going to be heavy all week is Bland. So, like, obviously, what's your thoughts on, like, obviously the meteoric, and is it really a meteoric rise? Is it really? Because he really, to me, doing what he did last year, like, for real. I just think it's to the point you got to recognize him. So thoughts, Amp?
Yeah. I mean, he's just continued to, like you said, improve on what he did last year. The talent has always been there, but you see a player who is doing two things. One, he's better learning the defense, but two, and most importantly, he's learning himself. He knows what he can and can't do, what he should and should not do. And as a result, you see him taking estimated guesses a little bit more. Not being goofy, but knowing, hey, I can kind of bait this guy. And when I plant, I'm accelerating because I know where the ball's going. You're seeing the game slow down for him. And that's kudos to him. And based off of what we see, he's somebody who's a student of the game and watches film. Because you don't do what he does unless you know where the QB is going.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something real quick. I think OC, I thought he was froze. Okay, OC, what's your thoughts?
No. Man, listen, man. DaRon Bland may very well be the best cornerback in the NFL. And I said this at the beginning of the year. I said that DaRon Bland is the best all-around corner. Boss, if you got a second, you could even pull up a tweet. I put out a tweet about 20 minutes ago. Excuse my phone here. You could even pull up that tweet, boss, and what I said exactly on X now, excuse me. So here's the deal, man, and this is what makes DaRon Bland the best all-around corner on the Dallas Cowboys team. It's this. DaRon Bland played the slot last year. What was he doing, boss? The same type of stuff. To your point, he's picking off the ball. He's snatching the ball out of receivers' hands. He's being blanketed. He's blanketing boys in coverage. And he's coming up and being a very strong physical tackler. Now, you add in all the experience of him playing outside this year. He's doing the exact same thing, but even at a higher level, going against the team's best receivers. He's coming up with picks. He's jumping routes. Look, this guy, this is when I put the tweet out, boss. When this boy undercut a crossing route, he timed undercutting, boss, a crossing route. And you're a cornerback, boss. Stop me when I'm lying on this. That's elite. That's high end, boss.
Yep.
Boss. Then he does a somersault and he takes it back to the house. Yeah. So it's not only his ability to cover inside receivers, outside receivers, be a physical tackler, be able to jam and play off man. He gets interceptions, but he's converting interceptions to touchdowns. He has the most interception returns for touchdowns in the league, okay? And he has the most interceptions over the past 2 seasons up to this point in this season at 11, Boss Cowboy. He was playing like a first-round draft pick when he came in last year. He's playing like a lottery top 1 draft pick this year, boss. He's the hands-down best corner on the Cowboys team, even if Diggs is healthy, because now I'm convinced, boss. When I saw that, I'm convinced, boss, he has at least equal ball skills to Diggs. At least equal.
I smell a fight.
His ball skills, boss, is not inferior to Diggs.
I smell a fight.
Boss, I'm sorry, boss, and he's a sure tackler, boss.
I smell a fight.
I'm saying, boss Cowboy. I don't know, boss. Maybe my eyeballs lying. Talk me off the ledge, boss Cowboy. Tell me I'm crazy and I'm missing stuff. Please tell me.
Nah, you ain't too crazy. I just think you got I'm gonna tell you what in my opinion, he not the ball god that Diggs is, but he is more aggressive in terms of his takeaways. Like, to me, Bland is a takeaway artist. He takes the ball. You know what I mean? I think Bland just has a better instinct of playmaking, but I will agree with you on this. I feel like he's making the case to be more complete. Like overall, like in terms of tackling, aggressiveness, physicality, being where you're supposed to be, like, I can't fight you on that. But then to try to debate ball skills when both of them had 11 interceptions, you know what I mean? You not wrong.
This is what I'm saying.
You not wrong. You not wrong. If you think that, like, nobody should look at you like this, like I did. I was doing that. You just messing with you, like. But now, bro, he making the case. You can't keep having all these interceptions and not be just as good as the guy who got another 11 interceptions. You just can't.
And here's the rub,
let me tell you what I really feel. Let me tell you what I see from playing the position. Playing the position, the thing that I see with Bland that makes him elite is he is very elite at his closing speed. Yes. See, he has something that kind of Dion used to do, where he'll show a look that'll make you think that window is open, and then you throw the ball and he closes it. And it's based on him just being just an adrenaline athlete. Like, that's adrenaline athlete to where speed come out of nowhere and it surprises the quarterback. Because he's like, nobody should be able to undercut a dig route when a receiver has a head start. But he been doing it all year. So the thing that's elite to me about Diggs is he's very fundamental. He's very fundamental. He takes all his read steps. He doesn't have bad eyes. You don't see him peeking back at the quarterback. But I think his closing speed is what makes him elite. That's me.
And Boss, I'm gonna give you one more thing before I go kick it to the panel. Here's also what makes him elite, Boss Cowboy, and this is something that nobody can dispute, that he has 100% over Diggs, even if you say they have equal interceptions. He converts these interceptions on run backs to touchdowns, Boss Cowboy, better than anybody else. He's picking that ball off. He ain't falling out getting tackled. He's exploding balls, and he's figuring out, balls, how to get into that end zone. He's running these things back. He's turning defense into offense and turning these interceptions into touchdowns. And he's doing that better, Boss Cowboy, than anybody, even Diggs when Diggs was healthy. And to me, that's the separator. I mean, Boss, if he wasn't as important, Boss, I think he's so good at running in space. Like, if he wasn't as important, I would give him a chance to return some punts.
Oh, my
like, man,
God.
go back there and return some punts. And see if you could take what I'm saying. If he wasn't as important, I won't do that, Boss. I'm saying if he wasn't as important as he is, I'll be like, man, because of his ball skills, Boss, and his running ability after catch. Think about what I'm saying before you say I'm crazy. Think about what I'm saying. He has elite run back ability, Boss, and that's a separator, in my opinion. Go ahead, guys. You got it.
Also the OC's point, what does it for me as far as giving the edge to Bland is the fact that he's doing it sooner than Diggs did.
Yeah,
he's a little bit more complete. He's a little more complete, faster than Diggs.
That's the point right there, bro. Is
because
he's doing it faster.
To me, he has a
Diggs.
higher ceiling.
Right. And he keeping up. See, oh man, that was a good point, Coach. You got something to add to that? You've been quiet.
I agree with both of y'all in what y'all were saying. I do. He has come a long way, but I want y'all to understand when Diggs was early in training camp, Diggs had come a long way. I still want y'all to understand, as what I have said before the season started, the value of Gilly in that room teaching these guys how to anticipate, trap guys. He may not can do it because he don't have the athletic ability like that. But if he could teach somebody their skill set that got closer speed like a Diggs or a Bland, if they can listen to him, we know they can be stars. And it's importance of that guy in that room teaching these guys the nuances about cornerback play. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's valuable. And now these guys are doing it with young league, and that's why you seeing both of them, even with Diggs in training camp and not Bland, just ball out.
And I'm gonna say this, man. I want Gilly back. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it early. I want him back. Cause man, just
I don't know Gilly gonna come back. I don't know how many years Gilly want to play after that end.
I'm with you. But if
development,
just let me dream for just 1 minute, then, Coach.
I know.
If we could get Trayvon, Gilly, and Bland, see. We was the only one saying this was the best secondary in the league last year.
God.
We was saying that last year when nobody else was saying it. We was the only one saying, bro, if you not saying us with Gilly, Trayvon, and Bland, if you smoking. You just smoking.
That's a quarterback's nightmare, boss.
Yeah, and
with the pass rush that we have, my God.
At first, before Diggs went down, that's why I thought we was gonna break the sack record. Because remember, I did a video, I called it Pick Your Poison, to where you couldn't, because if you tried to target Bland, that was targeting lava. Then if you tried to target Diggs, you was targeting fire. Then you try to, now you're messing with lightning, man. And then quarterbacks was going to have to be antsy, and it was going to help that pass rush. But when we lost Diggs, I think we got us a little bit of an outlet with Jordan Lewis.
We took a step back.
Yeah, we took a little bit of step at that nickelback position. Just keeping it real. All right. Let's go back to what's super hot right now as well. OC, we want to get your opinion on this, bro. The curse has been broken, my brother.
Lifted.
Lifted. Talk about it, please.
Man, look, man. I think that wisdom and age prevails, man, in this, and that Jerry Jones is finally doing the right thing, putting Jimmy Johnson into the ring. And I think this may open the door spiritually for us to be able to actually win a Super Bowl. That he's doing the right thing. That he's actually doing right by the guy that made him famous. He's actually doing right by the man, regardless of their differences, that created the foundation for Jerry Jones to turn the Dallas Cowboys into a marketing engine and become a multi-billion-dollar organization that was built on the foundation that Jimmy Johnson set in the mid to late 90s when he was the head coach and they won those Super Bowls. And so finally, we have the wrongs being righted in this situation, and the allowance of him into the Ring of Honor is just tremendous. I'm happy it's happened, and I'm happy that they are making amends to the point that, hey, man, they're on good enough terms that, hey, you know, the right thing is going to happen now, boss. The right thing is going to happen.
That boy says spiritually, man. You can't say that. You gotta, like, I'm honest, I don't actually need you to do this like I usually do. I really mean it. I need you to elaborate on spiritually, bro.
Yeah, so when I say spiritually, man, I mean that, man, sometimes, man, in life, man, you know, there are universal laws and principles, whether whatever you believe in God or not. I'm saying that, hey, man, if you plant apple seeds, you cannot hope for an orange tree. So whatever you want to get is what you got to put in. And so if you putting out shade, you can't expect loyalty. If you're putting out hate, you really can't expect love. And so this was hate versus the man that helped you win. And so spiritually, on universal principles, you can put a blockade between yourself and success when you do people dirty that did you right. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying that Jimmy Johnson deserves to be in this ring. And he's getting in there, and in that sense, in that great sense, a wrong will have been righted.
Al, go ahead. I could tell you got something on your heart.
Look here. At this point, I'm walking to the front of the church. The tears are running down my face. My lips are starting to quiver because I have been saved. I have been washed in the blue waters
of the Cowboys.
All of my Cowboys transgressions have been forgiven and atoned for. Church is out. Church is out.
We need smoke,
Church
bro.
is out. Go ahead and fire up that oven. Fire up that oven. Go ahead and put that cornbread in there because dinner's done.
We need to smoke on that one, bro. We need to smoke on that, coach. I know you got some thoughts so that you may.
Oh my God!
Look at it, man. That boy.
Lord have mercy.
Go ahead.
Hey,
that
man,
boy, what they said? A word.
A word. That boy said spiritually. I was like, you got to expound on that, big dog. That boy said spiritually. Go ahead, coach.
Listen, man. When we first got on this, before we went live. The first thing that you told me, boss, said, man, they already related. And the first reaction I had was, oh, Lord, thank you, Lord.
Yes.
Because
real.
It's all about, listen, we can talk about organizationals and stuff like that, man, but it's all about doing the right thing as an organization. And sometimes we have to correct things and get some things correctly. I remember when Jimmy Johnson was hired and the stuff that went on with the meanness, what they thought with Tom Landry. But it took a couple of years before Tom Landry came about and Jerry came out and they publicly said it was okay, man. Everything was straight away. He understood. And we went on from there to get to a Super Bowl. But that had to be said. You know what I'm saying? That had to be done. And now here we into a situation where that had to be done because that was looming. You got everybody from that team in the Ring of Honor, except the guy that helped you put this thing together and build this thing with you. So I'm glad that they had a chance to do that, man, and get and bury that and get that together. And we can move on and that won't be a subject conversation. And it seems like Jerry, at this particular point in time, sees what he has. He's talking on a lot of things, but he's not talking as much as he used to talk. We're not hearing as much. He's not trying to get an extra show on TV. He's just doing the normal shows. And so he understands what he's got. And now he's trying to just, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, so we don't have no bad karma. And I appreciate that.
Omnia.
Yeah. Let me say something real quick too. Because I'm from Dallas. And I'm not saying that to say I'm better than anybody. It is a different view when you're here, right? And when you kind of saw them come in. Like, I was a kid when they came in. I remember watching Jerry Body's team. I remember the speech, "We will win, we must win." I remember all of that. So when I look at Jimmy and Jerry as somebody that's from Dallas, I got to look at it kind of personally, right? And this is what I mean by that. The greatness of what they did for my city, man, it was almost like being a son stuck between parents that's in an ugly divorce, to where, or the daughter, son or daughter, to where I don't care who fault it is, I love both of y'all. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I feel right now. It's like I don't care who cheated on mama or daddy cheated on mama. I just love you, dad. I love you, mama. You know what I mean? And I just don't want to see y'all fighting. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because both of y'all mean so much to me and what you did for my city. Like, I really do appreciate Jerry putting up his whole life savings to buy a Cowboys at the time that was in ruins. And he came and he brought on his class roommate from college, and they took on this venture and they did it. You know what I'm saying? And to see them fighting, it used to break my heart. It used to break my heart. So to see even years later, regardless of what happens from here, just to see mommy and daddy at least learning to be respectable as a kid, and I'm just using myself, I'm just using that as a metaphor. That's what I feel the best about, is that my parents are at least being cordial. You might not ever get married again. You might not do no business ever again. You might not ever be a consultant to the Dallas Cowboys. You might go away in the wind. But it's just the fact that I see mommy and daddy being respectable. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Man, look, I think that you hit it right on the head. At the end of the day, man, I think that, people say it's no honor amongst thieves as an analogy. Well, it has to be honor amongst football coaches and GMs, man, that run organizations. And so this is just an honor thing, and honor does matter in life. As a matter of fact, not to be on a soapbox and preaching, but I'm saying probably the problems you have in relationships is probably because of a lack of honor. Somebody's not honoring or showing proper respect to the other person.
Come on,
and
Bishop.
So it happens with players, it happens with coaches, it happens in family.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Come on, Bishop.
Anyway, just to say, successful relationships, you got to try to incorporate a degree of honor, or translate it as respect, as most people understand it. And then that opens the door to have successful relationships and transactions with people, man. And so that's just a fact of life. And then you seeing it being played out in a positive place here, just a reestablishment of the honor. And that's it.
I love it.
All right, y'all. Warm and
Real
fuzzy
quick.
over for.
Real quick. I'm going to paint a very vivid picture. To me, and it's personal, it's Kobe and Shaq. You started something beautiful. You did everything you hoped to accomplish. And then it fell apart. And then it got nasty. Because they were going back and forth. Remember what Shaq said? He wrote a whole song when Kobe lost. And then somewhere down the line, when Kobe finally got right, they made amends. And he was even there present for his last game. And he spoke at his funeral. What I'm saying at this point is, no matter who go first, I believe the other one will be able to speak at the other's funeral.
Yeah.
That's how real this is.
Love it. All right, now the kumbaya is out the way. we wouldn't be a real channel unless we talked about some things that we saw in this game that we need to improve on.
Facts.
So I wouldn't be doing my job. Now I know it's a whole lot of content creators that's gonna stay on all positive. That's their thing. That's not what this channel is really built on. This channel is built on being aggressive about ideas that can help us win a championship. You can't do that unless you're willing to get into the weeds. You can't do that unless you're willing to talk about things that we need to improve on, right? So the number one thing I'm gonna talk about that I saw today that I didn't like, that I'm starting to see a pattern of, and I'm just gonna be all the way honest with everybody, soft. It's like that really pissed me off when I saw Dak get hit. And like I know some people could be like, boss, why you making a big deal out of that? Because I'm seeing it in a lot of different areas. It's not even just a Dak hit. Somebody should have paid for that, number one. But number two, you seeing it on defense and offense. You seeing a lack of finishing. You seeing a lack. I'm talking about on defense right now. You, like Coach Marv was talking about, you not seeing the major game tackling, the anger. You not seeing it. Like you seeing it from a few. You'll see it from Bell. You'll see aggression from Tank, but you don't see like that team anger on defense. And on offense, I'm seeing too many guys watching, especially when guys are hungry and trying to push for an extra yard. So from a coach's standpoint, Mike McCarthy, what are you gonna do about this softness that try to seep on this team? Because ain't no way somebody's supposed that got slapped OC for Dak getting hit the way that he got hit, and then they turned around and hit Turpin the next play in the back. Like, what's your thoughts on this softness? And then I'm gonna get into some more things.
Well, man, look, at the end of the day, man, you know, this is a dog-eat-dog sport, and the professionalism and culture of what some of our front office people like has affected this, right? This goes back to when we had a former defensive coordinator come down and get into the crap of some players, and then Stephen Jones steps out and says, that's not what we do here. That's not how we do it. True. Right? Then it promulgates, okay, get these type of guys in that is going to keep their composure and be cool. Even if they slap you, they're going to say, they're not going to slap you back or punch you. They're going to say, oh, thank you, sir, now please have another. You know, that type of deal, right? And that's not aggressive dog-eat-dog football, and that's not what you want when you get into tough games and it's the championship rounds. And I thought you were going somewhere else, Boss Cowboy, so I'm gonna go ahead and go here as it relates to the soft conversation. You know what I really didn't like about this game? The one thing I really didn't like about this game, I didn't like that 17-play drive, Boss. I didn't like the 2 conversions on 4th down balls. I didn't like them being able to line up in power and run the ball down our throat. And us not be able to boss up and stop runs inside in a power zone or just a power outside zone run style play. You know why? Because it reminds me of something, boss. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of what San Francisco will do when we have to play them, if we play them in the playoffs. It reminds me of something else. It reminds me of the type of thing that the Philadelphia Eagles will do to us if we do not tighten up and be extremely violent and aggressive with run fits and filling, hitting gaps like your life depends upon it, and knocking off some heads, blood in your nose, getting a concussion, getting a 15-yard penalty, doing whatever you got to do to establish respect. We talked about honor, establish respect as a man, and that's what you got to do to stop a tough run game, boss. And that has been the formula that has beat the Dallas Cowboys defense and that has beat us, and I have not seen the adjustment yet to us being able to stop that type of style of offense, and that concerns me, boss. That concerns me.
Coach, it's on you.
Well, you know, I'm looking at I'm watching the other games, but I'm watching the Cowboys, and is the defense totally bad? No. But if the defense has the mentality of we're not going to give up anything, we're going to not just only shut teams down, we're going to punish them. No, they're not that type of team. And that gets us in trouble because, just like OC said, he didn't like the 17-play drive. I keep going back to this. We played Philadelphia pretty well, but we gave up 4 touchdown drives over 65 yards.
Yep.
Listen, with the type of defense we have, if I go into that game, I'm telling my defense, if teams got to drive 65 yards against us, I'm gonna say that they may do that 1 out of 6 times. But we having people do that on a regular basis and get into field goal position and stuff of that nature. And it's not a big thing. It's a 4 or 5 yards with an extra run here. A guy getting them pushing the guy down the field. No hard tackles. No, man, we out there putting pads on guys. It's almost that we're changing in and out of guys going in and out the game, but we're not bringing the intensity. And it seems like the only time we get it fired up is when we just go and just go after the pass rush and get sacked.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. In the big games, teams are not going to let you sack their quarterback 7 times. Duh. You're going to have to win other ways.
Yeah, man.
So,
this is a glamour division. This is like a glamour team. I told y'all about that pretty girl that you like to date. It's like a real pretty girl, but she don't know how to clean up. She can't cook. She don't want to clean out, the little trash area, but you walk around and she real pretty. She look real good. So that's what sacks are to football teams. It's a glamour thing. It's, I got a sack. Look at me. I'm padding my stats. Yes, look at me. I'm getting paid. But no, I hit a tackle, an offensive tackle, and a guard. I hit them in his mouth. I stood him up. I shedded the offensive tackle, and I made a play for a tackle for loss. That's the type of stuff that we need in this game to beat some of the best teams, man. And at the end of the day, man, it's going to have to be something that is initiated really by Dan Quinn, the guy you just showed, Boss Cowboy. And this is equivalent, guys, to boxing. This is equivalent to if a team is driving 65, 70 yards on you and they're doing it 2-3 times a game. That's equivalent to being in a boxing fight and getting walked down by a boxer. He's beating you up. Everybody know you lose. He's beating you up. And then he finishes you off late in the 11th or 12th round. Man, he's beating you up. So that's equivalent to beating up a defense. And you don't want to sit there as a defense and let an offense beat you up. So it's something that we're going to have to address. And it's okay right now, right? We won the game. We won 33-10. It's great. However, when we get into these games, when we play against the Bills, when we play against, I would say even the Commanders, when we play against the Dolphins, when we play against some of these other teams that have a good group, it's something that we're going to have to address.
Seattle.
Yep, Seattle too,
You're
Coach.
going to be in trouble. But Seattle's going to run the ball down your throat.
Yep.
And then a couple of things, man. I mean, I'm just listening because we're talking about how to improve this team. Where is Waldo? See, that's what I be talking about, Dallas. Now, we having trouble stopping the run, especially in the A and B gap. Nothing in y'all says, let's give Evan some tick to stop this downhill avalanche.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, so I'm over here like, because see, a lot of Cowboy fans, they go come in here at this portion of what we talking about, and they go say, you're negative. No, I'm saying it's another level. And it doesn't make sense to watch your linebacker struggling. You have a guy and you do nothing. You got a former first round guy and you do nothing. Why do you go get all these former first guys and you don't treat them right? I don't care what nobody say. Fowler is not being treated right. Noah is not being treated right. Like they intentionally was going at Jordan Lewis again. Again. And I'm not saying he was the only problem. I don't want y'all to think I'm saying that. But it was clear as day that when it came down to conversion, they were saying, let's go after Jordan Lewis. And you know what likely the Dallas Cowboys go do? They go roll right back out there with him again with no internal competition to try to make this roster the absolute best it can be. Because what if Evans actually gets in there and help us stop that downhill avalanche that was coming at us? We now solved our problem, but we wasn't doing that. It's a where is Waldo, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't trust the Cowboys until I see them actually exercising true internal competition.
Boss, OC, coach. You're right, boss, but you're partially right. It don't just fix that problem. Indirectly, it fixes your Jordan Lewis problem too.
What you mean?
By you putting Evans in when needed, taking care of first things first and stopping that run, you're at a position now to where you can allow your pass rush to be effective
Okay.
and make the job a little bit easier on your DBs.
Right.
That's just, I mean, that's how I'm seeing it, you know. But it, again, it's what you said. The difference between us and San Fran is,
Yep.
you know, we talk about best 5 on O-line. Can we get the best 11 on defense, please? You know, just keeping it real, because OC, I thought you was gonna take it a little further. This also,
I'm about to in a second.
This also reminds me of the Rams, January 12, 2019. 240 plus yards on the ground. That's what it reminds me of. Do you really want to go out that way? Because you aren't being physical and you allow teams to punch you in the mouth? And at times it seems like you have no answer? Got to clean up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, one thing I'll say to that is this, and let me take it a step further. Schematically speaking, Dan Quinn has been a master of mixing in defense and defensive personnel. So Dan Quinn can do this, okay? And I know, like, sometimes you need a sledgehammer. You don't pull out an ice pick when you need a sledgehammer. Evans is the closest thing you have to a sledgehammer, and a sledgehammer is a guy that can run B, C gap, hit people in their mouth, and stop the run. Especially if you see teams clearly coming out in overload formations, okay? Or power formations. You got to have a sub there. Now, he favors Marquise Bell, which I understand because Marquise Bell has played the best from the linebacker position, right, all year, no doubt. He favors also Clark because of the lateral agility and the speed. You still can play all of those guys. If you insert Evans, okay, to the Mike position, you have Marquise Bell who can play Will, okay? He also can play Will, and even if you did want to sub out an aging Jaron Kearse at times, he can also cover a safety up the hash and cover crossing routes as well, talking about Marquise Bell. So you actually can have your best athletes and players out there if you just think about it and you just tickle your formations a little bit, Mr. Dan Quinn. And now we've solved that power, or at least help to address, not say solve, help to address that inside power run game.
Yeah.
Well, let me clear the elephant in the room. Boss knows this. I judge just like Boss said. I judge a coach by his unit.
Yep. That's how I do.
And the linebacker unit, regardless of who we put back there, we get Bob. We get somebody else. And they don't look as good as we thought they should have looked previously, because when they get in this linebacker, and when I watch the linebacker unit, when you watch film on this linebacker unit, I see traits of these guys when they came out of college. And I'm wondering why these traits are different now. Why these guys are stepping back most times on a run. They stepping back, and sometimes they be stepping like they going into drop. And the guys running the ball there. And I don't see them coming up and thumping guys and being thumpers. I see they waiting on defensive tackles to make plays, where most defense, 99% of defenses are made for them to make the tackles, and defensive linemen just to create opportunities for them. We hadn't had a 100 tackle linebacker in the group in 2 or 3 years. I don't see the play from the linebackers, regardless of who we got in there. That's what I see on film that are aggressive attacking linebackers. I don't think they're being taught that way. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. I know they ain't being taught that way.
So you saying they're waiting on the fight instead of taking the fight?
Yeah, he's saying it's
I
Scott
know they ain't
McCurley.
being taught by
And I
that
agree.
way.
I think it has a lot to do with coaching. See, and coach doing a fantastic job of breaking down how the schematic clues show you that it's coaching. You not seeing the fundamental linebacker things that you're supposed to see from that unit. You not.
Yeah.
And I'm just being all the way honest, man. And it's one of them things to where, you know, because they made some changes at linebacker before. Coaches before around this time. Where is George Edwards? Is he on the street? I'm trying to see. He on the street?
I think George on the street.
Man, they need to go get George Edwards back and then get rid of Scott McCurley. See, because it's also politics that happen in this stuff too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To where you keep the wrong coach. You know, and this, you know, because he's a former guy out of Green Bay. You know what I mean? He's one of Mike McCarthy's guys. But sometimes your guy is not that dude, man. Especially when the unit is not doing what it's supposed to do. And you invested into it. You did. You got investments into it. But anyway, I just want to kind of get that out. What's your thoughts on that, OC? No, go ahead, Coach.
I want it. When they ain't had no linebacker coach, I said this way back in the preseason. When they ain't had no linebacker coach and they said they let George Edwards go, right? You would have went and got Ken Norton, he would have been here the next day.
Yep. The next day.
And you would have this problem about linebackers filling the holes and being aggressive.
Yeah. Go ahead, OC.
This is why, listen here. If you're asking the linebackers not to be aggressive, no wonder Fonz don't want to play fucking line. Excuse me. No wonder. I wouldn't want to play like that either.
Had me out here looking bad.
Super chat. He said that's what happened when you have a non-linebacker coach.
Man, sometimes you get guys that happen.
If you telling me to stand around, and
Coach, you keep cutting them off, man. Every time it's the OC, man.
I'm sorry.
We gonna come back to you, Coach. Every time you making it awkward. I'm trying to get it on OC.
I'm sorry, man. I just got hyped on that one, man.
I got it to Coach Wheelhouse. We gonna come back to you, Coach.
Man, it's simple, and sometimes, you know, we want to make sure that we're doing the job that we got, and that's the most respectful way I can say it. And sometimes you put in positions that maybe you're not executing the best on, or maybe you weren't ready for developmentally, and then it impacts the organization. But however, you know, it's a philosophy of read and make tackles, and it's a philosophy of read and get downhill. I think it's two different philosophies when you play the linebacker position. And I think if it's a philosophy, that's just my opinion, if it's a philosophy of read and make tackles, then sometimes you're going to get caught in the wash because you're not stepping forward when you need to step forward. You're stepping laterally, right? And then you're taking yourself out of plays, or really you're running yourself into blocks, which that's what I see with this linebacker group. So I see that they run themselves into blocks, right? And they're not running, keeping outside arm free. They're not running through blocks. They're not using two-hand sticks and disengaging. They're not meeting people in a hole with physicality. And so I think it's more like a read and react, go make tackles, versus understand the play, understand the assignment, and based upon the play and formation, if you see G-traps, if you see guards coming towards you, right, interior guards or down blocks or chip blocks coming towards you, this is when you got to get dirty. And I think that's what the linebackers don't really understand on this team, in my opinion. Besides Marquise Bell, he's doing a fantastic job, which is the outlier and might be the saving grace to the argument against the coach, because Marquise Bell is playing fantastic with great leverage, great anticipation, great physicality for his size, all those things. He's doing everything right if you watch Marquise Bell play. right? That's the only outlier argument to this whole discussion. But otherwise, it needs to be a distinct difference between when we're reading, reacting, and scraping. You can't scrape when it's time to field. And you can't field when it's time to scrape and run and make tackles. You got to know the difference.
My boy Montana said hire him as the linebacker coach. But Coach, you was saying something. I want you to finish your thought because you was going. And then
you know something. I know we've been talking about this thing a whole lot, man. And this came to me. This one of the things that came to me, right? It's all possible. Would I want to play for this guy? Why do you might not want to play linebacker?
Oh, no, Coach, no! Coach, no, Coach, no! I feel you though.
So, that's real.
And I understand what OC's saying, right? But it's almost like this linebacker coach is saying, we're not asking you to make the tackle because they evidently they don't make a lot of tackles. They ain't gonna be no under tackle guy. But they just want, as they used to say about LVE, he's always in the right place. So they want you to be in the right place. That don't mean you forcing the action. You just to clean up to the action. And I think our defensive line is getting too much wrong put on them because you got, and I always said, the run game is a marriage between the defensive line and linebackers.
Right.
You can have good defensive linemen and horrible linebackers, and you can get run on like crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. You can have great linebackers and bad defensive linemen and still get run on. But if you marry the two together, you can be awesome.
Oh, they said hire Sean Lee. I agree.
And I'm gonna say this just real quick before you go, Am. I think therein lies the issue with this front is that you have guys in the right place not doing the right things, right? And there is a difference. You can be in the right place positionally, but not taking the right action to make the play, i.e. coming downhill, understanding when you need to blow up plays, right? That's what it is. And so here's the other component too that we hadn't touched on yet, Coach, and I think you'll appreciate this as I kind of elaborate. We have, besides our draft pick, all right, our big defensive tackle from Michigan and Hankins, okay? Besides Mozzie and Hankins, they play two gaps on, but most everybody else is playing one gap. They're sprinting through the gap trying to get to the quarterback in most cases. So if you have that, your linebackers have to be coming downhill and have to fill the gaps that you vacate if you're getting double teamed. If they're not doing that and they're playing on their heels, you're going to have cavernous gaps for people to run through because you're not maintaining what you call gap integrity. So if you're going to one gap or three technique, the linebacker behind him has to read what hole is open, and he has to be able to fill that freaking hole, not stand there. Just to give you one example. And therein, Coach, is the unhealthy relationship we have between the defensive line and the linebackers. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah. And this is super disrespectful because Amp played linebacker. So I mean, you know.
I'm sorry, Coach. I didn't know Amp. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, Amp actually played linebacker. We over here hogging.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
So, in the early 90s, there was a defense case made by a very, very popular attorney at the time. And the simple statement was, if it doesn't fit, he must have quit. What OC is talking about when you mention gap integrity, he's talking about run fits. And if your linebackers don't fit, Dan Quinn, you got to quit. You got to find something else, dude. You got to find what works for your team. You got to find out what are your linebackers' strengths and construct the game plan around that to help them and not hinder them. And I think what's happening with this linebacker coach, McCurley, or lack thereof, I think what he's doing is he is not teaching our linebackers to be headhunters. He's teaching them to be deer hunters. Sit up in a tree and wait till he walk by, then pick him off.
Ooh, wait.
I ain't never heard that was a good one.
Wait.
Get him some.
Another one.
Bruh.
Finish him.
Oh, I got to use that
That's why I was disrespectful for us to not let the linebacker talk.
one. I will use that at the bottom.
Hey, it's all good. I do, look. Look, I was gonna let the game come to me, dog. I was gonna let it come to me.
There you go.
But I was ready.
Yeah.
That's it. See, that's another point. This is the pivot right here. When opportunities come, carpe omnia.
Season.
When opportunities come, Luke Schoonmaker, carpe omnia.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a different conversation, at least for this week.
About about
the level of the play of that man.
You got to
at least if not for 1 week, at least till Turkey Day.
Yep.
You got to cool it on Schoon.
Yeah, we got to cool it.
You got to be cool on Schoon.
You shut us up. And
yeah.
That's the way you shut up everybody up.
Hey, boss.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to piggyback to one thing, man. We talked about that when we first started talking about defense. Let's think about it. On every defense that got that grit, what group usually set that mentality?
Linebackers.
Well, okay. And what we're talking about when we talk about the intensity and not aggressiveness and not wanting you to get a yard and the tackling and being just hitting people, we're not getting that from the linebackers, and it's flowing through the rest of the team.
Defense to defense. What unit does San Francisco have the clear edge over us in, unit for unit?
Oh, yeah, about 10, yeah, about a mile.
About a mile.
Bingo.
So we finna close up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me get my final words. Good game by the Dallas Cowboys. The thing that I love, and I said this at the beginning, because obviously we got to talk about those things that we want to see. We got to talk about the politics. We got to talk about those things that could hurt us when the big games come. But still, that doesn't mean I'm not proud of the steps that we've taken. So the steps that we've taken is our offense is clearly better, right? That's one thing we can say. We can say Dak is still playing at a high level. Even with the drops today, he was still doing his thing. The numbers ain't gonna really reflect big numbers, but he was very accurate with the football. So I'm also happy that for the most part, our team is not playing down to the opponents like we did versus Arizona. So when you go against these type of teams, are you still showcasing the talent that's obvious? And I would say we doing that. So from that standpoint, yes, we are headed in the right direction. I just pray that the Dallas Cowboys get off the political being that they seem to be on. And some kind of way, and I'm going to keep thinking about it, I don't know how this team going to establish toughness, but I want to see it. Coach Marv, I do think that we do got to do that talk with Micah Parsons tomorrow or sometime this week. Where we really got to talk about that Micah Parsons, in my opinion, even from watching this game today, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think he needs to do a better job of embracing linebacker. Because when he plays the end, you could tell he's ready from A to Z. A to Z. He's ready for every scenario. His hands are ready. His hustle is consistent. When he get at linebacker, he look lost. Just being honest. You can tell that he didn't put in the off-season work for linebacker as he did for defensive end. Am I mad at him for that? Not necessarily, but I'm just stating what I believe. But if he's somebody that's also called upon to play the linebacker, I want to see the impact. So get ready for Coach Marv, myself, likely the OC. We go all kind of do a breakdown of things we want to see. So y'all be on the lookout for that. But that's my final words of this post-game. Coach, it's on you.
Hey, man. Hey, a victory is a victory, man. Glad to get out of Carolina with a victory. Get on the plane, go back, get ready for Turkey Day game, get ready to play our rival. Our rival lost today to the Giants. So all these people talking about how bad the Giants is, the Giants put up 31 points with that quarterback today. So like I said, but we're gonna have a Washington team coming here and they always want to play us tough regardless of what it is. So we got to just continue to keep stacking things and getting better at things. But I just tell the Cowboy Nation, listen to Boss Cowboy Sports, OC, all the people that have on the shows, when I'm on the show with all the other people, and listen to their concerns and their things, man. And it's not that we're trying to tear the team down,
No.
but the more we talk about those concerns, it gets inside the building, and maybe somebody can say, hey, man, we do need to play a little tougher. Man, when they watch film, they might say, yeah, we do look soft, you know? And that's all it is. It takes a little ounce of somebody saying it, and then they get. So we all just trying to get the 6, and we understand that the little things is going to be the things that's going to make the big things in the big game. So, great job, man. Great job working, man. And I'm so happy to work with y'all guys, man. And I appreciate the opportunity, brothers.
No, and thank you, Coach. For real. I just want to say that before you give your final words, Amp and OC. We appreciate all the extra work, the film breakdowns, the study, like the analysis. It's real work. And that's the thing. I love this panel. This is why I love this panel, because I know everybody here work. You know, do that mean we always right? No. But I know one thing, we go definitely work. You know what I mean? So if we say still, put it like this. When Coach Marv came to me and was like, hey, boss, I've been hearing about still with that Philly, right? He said, I double checked it. It is not what they saying. Now, I want to say this, and this is very honest. Coach Marv ain't never lied to me on film. Anytime he's told me something and I double check it, he told the truth. I still didn't take his word for it. Even though he got 100% track record with me. It's hard, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I went and double checked it. That's the key, you know? And when I double checked, it was so. So he right, when you come to Boss Cowboy Sports, we go put in that work. We go put in that work so that you don't get deceived, so you don't fall for that wee-woo and all of that.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee-woo.
We want the answers that's gonna help us win a true championship, and we're not playing about that.
So, you can look at this on so many different levels, so many different ways. I feel good because out of this stretch, I did not want us to engage in any long knockdown, drag out fights. Dak got to put on his fourth quarter hat. You got to take Tyron off. We escaped this game relatively healthy.
Well said.
For the most part, Gilly got banged up a little bit. I don't think I saw anything else. You know, that is a key factor. As the number of games start to shrink, guys get more and more banged up. So check mark for that, at least as far as this first one. The other part is, even though it's not to the point that we want it to be, to the extent, I'm still excited about the fact that you do have your younger guys, guys who typically get less playing time, actually earning some quality reps.
Yeah.
I am happy to see that. You see people like Mozzie getting better.
Yep.
You know, we aren't talking about him because guess what? He's winning.
Yes.
That's a plus.
Yes.
Because circling the back with what we were talking about as far as those linebackers, it starts on that D-line. That D-line makes the job easier for your linebackers.
Right.
Linebackers just got to do what's expected of them. Because this is no longer the undersized one-tech days of no disrespect, Antoine Woods. You know, your team has invested to improve that position, to put some resources there. So to much is given, much is expected. Because I remember some other linebackers that were on this team that didn't have it so easy, and they still were successful. So LB Room, I need y'all to step up. We're asking a lot of you because a lot has been given to you. Cowboys Nation, I appreciate y'all. I look forward to this opportunity every single week. I do my own homework in between weeks so that every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, when we cut on these lights, I'm ready. I hope that everyone enjoys your Thanksgiving. I don't know if we're going to be live, but y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. And remember, the small stuff don't matter. Let it go and let love rule. Y'all be easy.
Real quick before you go, see Stargazer in the building. Star, we got a link. You know, we got a link at some point. I know it's hard because you got your channel popping. I got mine popping. It's hard to link up, but I definitely want to do some content with you. So
salute.
Yeah, Star. You know, so shout out to Star. Just want to say that real quick. She's doing good work, and I'm gonna keep saying this about Star.
Excellent work.
Yeah, the thing I love about Star, I mean, not like love. This is the, I'm gonna hit this button. This is for Star.
Bring it real back. He be speaking his mind. That boy with the shit.
She speak her mind. That's the number one thing that I love about Star. Is it's not too many people that will go against the crowd. We do that, like we do that here, but I don't see too many people on the outside that do that. She just say what she sees. She don't care what you think. And so I like that because you can trust people like that. Even if you see it different, you still can trust that she means well. You know what I mean? So I just want to say that real quick before we give the heavy man his to close us out. And I do want to say the OC is the heavy man. Like me and Coach Marv, we carry the watch party, but man, we always appreciate you, OC, for being a guy who bring it home for the post game, and we really just happy to have you always, bro. And you're an asset to the community, man. So, what's your final words, dog?
Go ahead and give us the benediction, Bishop.
I will, bro. So look, man, Cowboys get a huge win, man. Huge win. And because it's huge, because A, we did what we were supposed to do. B, we came out unscathed. And then C, we get a chance to rock on and continue to build momentum in this stretch of games that we absolutely should win, because we got some tougher games coming up. So all in all, good job. We gonna always point out some things that we want to see improved, and we feel like the Cowboys can do better to get to championship level. But look, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to content. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow me, the OC, on Twitter, or now X at the OC100. Until next time, guys, we'll see you.
We'll see you, man. Y'all stay up, man. It's Boss Cowboy Sports. Well, yo, what's my time? Let's go.
Great job, fellas.
Yes, sir. Good job, guys.
We'll talk, man, probably tomorrow sometime, man.
And put it together. Yeah, we'll put it together at Michael Parsons. All right, bet.
All right, man. Later, brother.
Later.
See you later.